and then on YouTube, as soon as shows, I'll start with that. Hi, Mitul.
Hey Manish, hey Jared.
Hey,
So
Matul, how are you?
we are
Good.
live now, Mitul. So what we'll do is we'll start with the session basically.
Sure.
Um, we are live on a couple of YouTube channels that I own, and LinkedIn as well. So I'll just check everything. So we'll get a confirmation that everyone is able to
No worries,
connect
no worries.
properly.
I did let Tamana know that I can only make the first 5 minutes of this as I need to step out, but I'm happy to come
Yeah,
here and introduce and of course we'll be watching the recording like a few people over here.
yeah. Cool. All right. So let me cross check. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think we are all good on YouTube. We are live. So basically, guys, can you please confirm? Someone confirm that you can see us and hear us properly from the YouTube, please. Okay, great. So yes, we are all good. Um, so welcome everyone to the live session on 5 use cases to supercharge Jira Cloud. And just a brief introduction about myself, whosoever is new to the channel overall. So I'm Manish Verma, and I run basically two channels, Software Testing Mentor and RCV Academy. Um, and recently, last year, I have been added as a Melbourne community leader for from Atlassian. So along with Jared, and Mithul is here from the Perth ACE team from Atlassian. So over to you, Jared.
Cool, thanks, Manish. And thanks for everyone in Melbourne jumping on and joining in this awesome ACE event. I know in the past we've kind of covered more of the data center products, and so it's kind of cool that we're now embracing the cloud and starting to get more involved in helping the community. So yeah, thanks for the opportunity to join you, Manish and Mitul. I'll hand over to you regarding Perth.
Oh, thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Manish.
you.
Thanks, Jared. My name is Mithul. I'm part of the ACE community here in Perth. Of course, we'll be, learning a lot from Manish and Jared, I'm sure, in this session. So, but looking forward to welcoming you all and hosting more Perth sessions as well. So look out for those, and I'm sure we'll be able to, of course, answer any questions going forward. But hope you enjoy the session.
Thank you. Thanks, Jared. Thanks, Mithul. So let's quickly jump into the um, slides and what exactly we are going to learn a little bit today. So 5 use cases to supercharge Jira Cloud, right? So this is a presentation from Martin, who is head of ecosystem at Atlassian, and very nice content. And there'll be a lot of learning overall across this whole session. And what all are the pain points usually when we talk about Jira in the organizations, and how we can basically leverage the overall ecosystem of Atlassian and the marketplace to supercharge the Jira Cloud as per your needs, right? So let's get started and moving further. So housekeeping, as it is a live stream, so basically you will be able to drop the comments, and Jared will be able to reply to those comments. Um, Whatever we are able to reply, otherwise we'll be able to basically reach out to you over the email later. The session is already recorded, so you can go back and watch anytime. So what exactly are we talking today? So custom fit Atlassian products to your team's need. What it means basically is, say for example, when you are going ahead or when you start using the Jira Cloud instance within your organization, you get familiar with what all Jira provides as a basic need for your team, right? But then over the period of time, you might um, be needing few more things or few more functionalities. So that's where there is a lot of customization, or there is a lot of um, possibility available within Jira Cloud, and the possibility becomes possible because of the Atlassian Marketplace, wherein you get lots and lots of products or add-ons that can be used to customize your Jira instance. So let's quickly compare what exactly, a bit of analogy. So let's compare Jira to a basic house. Say, for example, you have a basic need, you are going to build a house or buy a house, and then you have all the basic necessities, or basic you have all the basic requirements fulfilled. You need 3 bedroom, a kitchen, all of those basic details that are required within the house. You already have those, right? But then over the period of time, when you moved in, you started looking around customizing few of these things. For example, customizing a particular room, or beautifying a particular room with a different color, or the gardening, landscaping, etc., right? So similar analogy we can correlate with Jira. So Jira is kind of a basic house that you get, which provides you all the basic functionalities of the agile project management, right? Now, on top of that, how can we basically customize the overall um, Jira instance, the Jira Cloud instance, to fulfill our needs, right? So we did lots of prep, analyzed Jira Cloud that it fulfills our needs. Then we got that yes, it covers all our basics. And then how we are going to make the house our home. Okay, so we bought a house or we build a house, but then to make a house your home, you might want to do a bit of customization into the rooms, etc. So how we are going to do that within Jira instance or the cloud instance is basically through the Jira Marketplace apps that are available, right? So now Jira is agile project management tool. When we talk about agile project management and any other capabilities that are provided within Jira, right? It's not just limited to agile project management. There are n number of other tools that are available from Atlassian, and each tool has the integrations and marketplace apps. Okay, so for example, in my Jira instance, I need a particular functionality or feature, for example, test management functionality, right? So Jira out of the box won't provide you that functionality, but there are n number of apps available on the Atlassian Marketplace that we can basically go ahead and install and get that capability within our Jira Cloud instance immediately, right? So it's just a click of the button. We don't have to do, because you are on the Jira Cloud instance, it's more of going to the marketplace and then adding those add-on. And if you're happy with the trial and everything fulfills with those add-ons, then you can basically make it a custom Jira instance for yourself, right? So this is the analogy. Basically, Jira Cloud sign up that you do, or the bare bone, is whatever you need, right, as a structure for your overall project work. Then there might be a requirement for a business. For example, Jira Core is being used by the business team or the HR team, right? So there are marketplace uh, apps that are specific to the HR teams, so that they can go ahead and use those apps and customize as per the HR. For marketing, there are other apps available. For software development, it is different tools. For example, for testing, you will have the test management apps that are available, which we'll discuss in this particular video as well. So Atlassian Marketplace is the go-to place which will help you to customize the instance and enable or basically make it your home, right? So the next thing, what we are going to discuss today, the 5 use cases, very important. First thing is automation, right? So automation is very important thing nowadays. Why? Because with the current fast paced environment, the competition is so strong, and your competitor releases the apps so fast into the market that if you delay those release cycles, say for example we used to have those traditional development life cycle wherein the release was 6 months, 1 year later, gone are those days when you have the flexibility to basically have those release cycles, right? Or that lengthy release cycle. So in that particular case, you need automation to reduce that particular release cycle, or also within Jira. So basically when we talk about automation within Jira, it is more of reducing the manual effort that is being utilized or used by your team members to manage Jira, okay, or manage any of the uh, usual daily tasks within Jira, or software development lifecycle in itself, right? So that's where automation comes in picture, and Jira Cloud provides out of the box functionality of automation. So previously, so if we go next, so there's some analogy basically. So automation can save employees 6 weeks of time per year, right? And this is one of the instance when you use Jira automation properly, it can really save a lot of time every year or every month basically. So how does usually automation works? Okay, how automation works in Jira. So for example, just a simple use case. So for example, when all the issues within the epic are completed, right, then close the epic. So you have the epic, okay, or you have the story. When all the child issues are completed, why do we need to go ahead and close the epic manually, right? We can have a rule there, automation there, that can actually check that if all the child issues in a particular epic or user story are closed, then automatically close the parent issue, right? Another use case, delete duplicates, right? Another use case, create reoccurring tasks. For example, in software development lifecycle, you know that whenever there is a user story that is being created, you will need a system testing task, you'll need a system integration testing task, right? You'll need a performance testing, okay? So if there is a specific task that that all of these tasks are mostly going to be common whenever you are going to create a particular user story, then we can automate those auto creation of tasks whenever you create a particular issue type in Jira, right? Auto reply is another good use case. Auto assign, right? So usually when you see in software development, we create a story, and then when it moves to some other state in the workflow, why not to auto assign? Say for example, when there is a user story that moves to in development, it should get auto assigned to the development lead, okay, or the person who is owning that particular team, right? So auto assign is one of the other very good use case where automation for Jira will be really helpful. So let's quickly see the example, right? So the problem is when a subtask transitions to in progress, I have to remember to move the parent to in progress too, right? That's the problem, right? So usually that is the big problem, and that is the cause of not having a good Jira hygiene, because there is a lot of, if you keep everything manual there, so subtask is closed, somebody has to remember that they have to also go back and close the parent task, right? But if you the automate this whole scenario so that parent task is transitioned to in progress or closed as soon as the subtasks are moved to in progress or closed, right? So in that particular case, you will save a lot of time and Jira hygiene will be automatically maintained. Okay, so how we can achieve that? Let's quickly go ahead and understand it with a simple example, right? So for example, out of the box, um, if you'll see, the Jira doesn't sync the parents to subtasks. Okay, so basically you have to provide, or you have to create the automation rule so that the sync happens. So as soon as I move a subtask, so this is a parent task, and there is a subtask. As soon as the subtask is moved to in progress, my parent task should move to in progress as well. And it makes sense, right? I mean, you have started working on a child item, right? That means the parent task should also be transitioned to in progress, right? Now, if there are multiple subtasks within that parent and all of those subtasks are closed, then parent should also get closed. That's another rule, right? So you can create multiple rules as per your need. Okay. So how we are going to basically build it? So basic simple automation, if you'll see, it starts with a trigger, right? So if you'll see that we are using the trigger issue transition and issue transition to in progress. All right, so we save it, then we create a condition. What condition? Basically we create a condition issue fields, right? So status is one of the issue type, right? So basically the issue type, we are checking the issue type is subtask, right? And then we create the connection there. Basically it checks for the parent of that subtask issue type, and then the action, what should happen. Okay, so if issue type equals subtask, and then if the subtask transitions from the to do to in progress, then copy the status of the subtask to parent as well, right? So this is basically how the overall rule process works. Now don't worry about this whole overall scenario. I'll be coming up with separate sessions altogether on all of these cases, because these use cases are really helpful, and we will have a separate session altogether, an hour session on each of these scenarios, which we'll be planning soon. So this is basically how you can build your rule, and then when the rule gets applied, or you turn on the rule, as soon as there is a subtask that moves to in progress, the parent will also get moved automatically. So nobody has to basically go ahead and keep a track of those things. Okay, so now what all are the automation apps for Jira Cloud, right? So automation for Jira is already basically it's already kind of built in Jira Cloud. Okay, but if you're on the Jira standalone version or data center, then you have the app that you can basically include there. Then there are multiple other apps: script runner for Jira, power scripts for Jira, workflow extension, and JSU automation, right? So these are some of the automation apps that are available, and these are some. So there are so many other apps available. You need to go to Marketplace, and I'll show you the Marketplace, Jira Marketplace. In the cloud instance, you can go to the apps and open the Marketplace, and you can search for any category automation apps there. Okay, so these are, the popular ones that are available, along with the others that are there. Now the second use case is the test management. Very, very important one. Now, me being from the testing background, okay, I have been into the test management and automation for almost 19 plus years now, and my whole work is into the testing and automation, and my channel, one of the channel, is also into the testing itself. So test management is one of the very core functionality that definitely should be there within Jira. Okay, I have been using Jira tools from past 10 years now, and even though I'm into testing field, but Jira, it doesn't matter which department you are working within the organization. I think Jira is across everywhere, and that's where I started building all of the Jira um, project management skills and getting certification, getting more details. So test management is one of the key things that I have been practicing for a while now within Jira. And why it becomes really important is what we are going to discuss, and what all apps are available that will help you to achieve test management within Jira. So 85% of bugs happen in development, but fixing them later is 40 times more expensive, right? I mean, this is this is even less, right? I mean, sometimes this fixing of defects in prod is like 100 times. Okay, so you can easily calculate the amount of effort and then correlate it with the dollar figure, the time it becomes expensive when you find a defect into the prod, right? I had explained it in some of the video which should be there on the channel. But yes, I mean, this is 40 times more expensive is very reasonable when a defect is fixed into the prod. And that is the reason, that is the basic reason why we use test management tool, right? So test management tool by default is important. Now previously we had those standalone test management tool. What it helps us to do, it helps us to plan our testing within the software development lifecycle, what we are going to test, what should be in scope, right? What we are not going to test. Okay, so it gives a clear visible picture. um, and within test management tool we have this that traceability out of the requirement. Then we have what all test cases need to be covered or written for those requirement. Is there traceability? Are all the requirements being tested or have the associated test cases or not? So all of that is available within the test management tool. It's kind of a repository of test cases. Along with that, it gives you a capability to create cycles, execute the test cases, log the results, and a lot of other functionalities, right? Reporting, etc. So test management tool will help you to plan. It provides the customer value because you are planning your testing, right? So you know what exactly you are testing. Your customer knows what quality they are going to get. Are all the requirements tested, right? Then it's productivity, right? So why productivity? Basically it helps to enhance the productivity. The reason being, if you start managing your test cases like earlier many organizations used to do into the Excel sheet and have the test cases, and how are you going to manage all of those test cycles? It becomes really tedious. You can't manage enterprise level testing or even very basic project testing just by maintaining things manually, right? So test management tool helps you to be more productive, and it helps you to save costs. Okay, now why it helps you to save costs? Because when you have the test management tool, you plan things in a proper way. You know how your testing is progressing, what overall things are being tested, how they are being tested, what is the timeline, right? What is entry exit criteria, all of that. Now with all that testing and process, eventually the defects are found and they are rectified. When defects are rectified early, they don't go to prod, and that's where you save a lot of money because you have identified defects early, and that is a cost saving, right? It's not an overhead, it's a cost saving. Okay, so the first app that we are going to use or see today is X-Ray for Jira Cloud, right? So X-Ray is the app that is available within Jira Marketplace. And as soon as you go to the Jira Marketplace, you can go ahead and search X-Ray, and this is just one of it. There are number of test management tool. You can install it and it will provide you absolute similar functionality that you get from the standalone test management tool. Now, why you need the test management tool within Jira? The reason being, you have everything. You can have the traceability right from the Jira Epic requirement or feature level to the test cases, right? It's highly integrated and embedded. The X-ray is highly integrated and embedded within Jira. So it helps you to basically have that clear um, end-to-end flow, end-to-end requirement traceability within Jira itself. Now, if you have Jira for your user stories, okay, or the requirements, and then you manage your testing in some other third-party tool which is not integrated well with Jira, okay. So, for example, you are using ALM, okay, which has been there for a while, and there are many organizations still using it. They haven't switched to Jira. The pain point are so much, and there is a lot of disconnect from what we are actually having in Jira and what exactly we are going to test, right? We have to manually go ahead, export the requirements from Jira, import it into ALM, and then somebody has to basically manage that all syncing process manually, right? It's not automatic. So maintaining those two tools is overhead, the license cost and everything, and people maintaining all of that to keep them in sync. It's a lot of hassle and overhead, and very cost inefficient, right? So that's where X-Ray for Jira Cloud is one of the app that will help you to bring the test management functionality within Jira. Now, it helps you to basically, plan your testing, then create the test cycle. You can see the executions. Okay, you can have the test case repository, then you can create the test execution cycle, execute your test cases. Okay, mark them pass and fail, raise the defect right then and there, right? So as you can see here, you can go ahead step by step, and if, say for example, there is a step that failed, you can straight away go ahead and raise a defect right from there within Jira, and that defect will get then linked to this particular test, which is then linked to the user story and then goes back to the epic. So traceability is very well maintained because you don't have to do anything manually, right? And then you have the CI/CD capability as well, right? So there is a lot of, so within X-Ray you have the ability to have the CI/CD integration. So for example, you have the automation framework, test automation framework, where you have written the test cases, and then you execute those test cases, and you want those test results to be logged within Jira, right? So X-Ray provides those REST APIs which you can utilize from your CI/CD tool, whether it's Jenkins or a Bamboo, and then have those jobs created and implement the connection that will automatically update the execution results within Jira X-Ray. Okay, so that is kind of integration that you need nowadays to release faster, right? So X-Ray is one of the tool that provides all of those features. So let's move on. This is more of a demo. So we'll come back and have a detailed demo of each of these use cases, which will be kind of 1 hour session each, because these are not some very little topics. This is something which will be really helpful if you deep dive into the actual app and show you the exact details how you're going to use them within your development life cycle. Okay, so how you are going to get some of the more test management tools. So we have discussed about the X-Ray. There is Zephyr for Jira, which is also very popular. Okay, and then there are many others that are available. You have the test trail for Jira test management, right? And then test management for Jira. So n number of apps. You just go to the Atlassian Marketplace, search for the apps around test management. You will get a number of apps available for test management functionality. Now, the third use case that we are going to talk about is analytics, right? Now, analytics for Jira Cloud is also very, very important. Why it becomes important is, we first thing, if you have analytics, you have analytical or the data view, the bird's eye view of what exactly is there within your Jira instance. That's what the analytics within Jira provides, right? So it gives you a full overview of your enterprise. Okay, you can go up to any level and see what exactly is happening. You can drill down. Okay, this is the release train. These are the teams within the release train. These are the items allocated or the functionalities that need to be built. These are the users to these are the epics, functionalities, user stories. This team is working on these user stories. What all things are in progress, and what is overall progress, and what is pending, right? So all of that full overview, bird's eye view, can be possible with analytics, right? Now, the next thing is, once you have the bird's eye view overall, it helps you to give the, or it helps you to plan better. Okay, unless and until you have the data or you see what exactly is going on, can you go ahead and plan something, right? You need to have some sort of visibility in order to go ahead and plan, right? So better planning, then productivity. So once you know the overall um, once you know overall status of a particular team progress or the enterprise or the release train progress, you know if there are any blockers, right? Or what what exactly is slowing a particular team down. You can drill down, you can go ahead and see the details, the data within that particular release train or at the team level, and see what the problem is if things are not moving as expected. That helps to unblock things early and improve productivity, right? Then it provides the key insights. So obviously at the team level, at any granular level, you can go ahead and get the key insights which help you um, uh, from the from team level, from the release train level, to make the informed decisions. Okay, now these are the approximate savings. So basically this is from one of the customers. So this is $26,000 is the approximate estimated saving of employee time per year, and that is because of the report automation, right? That's where report automation has helped. That is built in, not a built-in report, it's a app. So what we are going to discuss today is one of the easy BI report or the app that you can have an add-on within your Jira Cloud instance, and then automate the reporting within Jira. Okay, so easy BI is one of the app, and it's a drag and drop builder. Okay, so you can simply go ahead as you see here, right? So if I simply go back, so you can go ahead and choose the dimensions, drag and drop, um, select the way you want to look at the report: bar chart, line chart, pie chart, etc. And then you can also go ahead and customize those calculations with the MDX editor that is provided within EasyBI. Okay, so this this is one of the reporting app that is really helpful. Okay, now if you talk about the Power BI, Power BI integration with Jira is not as basically it's not well integrated when we talk about integration of EasyBI and Power BI, right? But if you have everything within Jira, why would you go ahead and have your reporting capabilities somewhere else? It makes sense to have all the functionalities that you need so that you can get the complete picture right from the enterprise level to the different team level, and see what exactly is going on within the teams, right? So that's where these apps enable all those key capabilities that you need as an enterprise to function well, whether it's from the software development perspective, from the reporting perspective, doesn't matter. Okay, so um, the next thing is the custom formula that you can specify. So for example, you go add go edit the details into the MDX editor, and then it will help you to customize those reports. Now this is a brief sort of a video embedded within the slide, but the real demo and the session around EasyBI will be conducting in different sessions, because these will be a dedicated session for each of these use cases, which will help you to understand how you're going to use these in the real scenarios within your organization. But as part of this session, it's just about understanding that these are the capabilities that are there. If you haven't used it, it's always good to explore and see the capabilities and bring things together within Jira, so it will save a lot of time for you and your organization. So let's see quickly. Basically here, if you see a simple report, let's go ahead and see the video. So here, say for example, they are building unresolved issue report by issue types and status. Okay, so issue type has been taken up, status has been taken up, and then due date has been selected. And then here you'll see all the issues are listed here. Then you can filter based on the project, a specific project. So you can choose a specific project, filter, and then you can also specify the issue types, right? So you have added the issue types there. You can remove the unused column, or the columns that you don't need, hide the empty rows. Okay, and then you can drill down into more details, right? So you can drill down then and there from the number of issues, number of bugs are there, number of issues, layout, right? Bar chart or stacked or pie chart, all of that is available just out of the box. Simple drag and drop builder, and it's just couple of seconds exercise to build this report, and then share it with the other members within your organization. So this capability, this reporting capability, right within Jira helps you to basically have that correlation, right? So you have every requirement within Jira, right? Now if you have a third party reporting tool, then there is a disconnect, right? If there is not if there is not a bidirectional tight integration between the reporting and the Jira, then it becomes really difficult to keep that sync, as we face into the test management. Whenever there is a team that I go and work, which has a different test management tool that is not within Jira, it's a big nightmare to keep that sync, and it's a big challenge. And eventually, the teams are moving, and having test management within Jira itself. But yes, I mean, it's still not across everywhere, and they realize that until they realize that it's a big sort of an overhead to have all that maintained manually. So moving next, so analytics and reporting tool. Again, on the Atlassian Marketplace, you can see lots and lots of analytics and reporting tools that you can explore for Jira and Confluence both. Okay. Now the next use case is time tracking. Again, time tracking becomes really important. Why? Because then you know how you are going to plan your time, right? So time tracking helps you to plan your time, first thing. The second thing is you can have custom reports to see how much time was spent, which could be billable or non-billable task, right? And where exactly the time was spent from the team. So when you have time tracking for the team and you have that um, capability within Jira to track the time, and you have the members inputting the time for each of their activities or the work within their day, okay, then you know exactly where the time is spent. Okay, with that time tracking, you also know that if there is something which is taking a lot of team's time which is not billable, right, which is something, or and it could be something related to a process, that process itself is so inefficient that we need to basically go ahead and change it, right? So time tracking not only will help you to identify billable, non-billable, but also from the time tracking analysis, if you see that there is a lot of non-billable or unproductive time um, that has been spent on certain activities, then you know that yes, I have to go ahead and tackle these things within my organization or team. Then we have the integrate the tool. So basically there is a tool integration that is available. When you have the time tracking, you can integrate it with the other apps for the timesheet, etc. So time tracking, how it helps basically, so this is one of the customers, and they have saved $500,000 last year by using time tracking app. What's more, employees are more efficient in their jobs, right? Why? Because of those issues that might occur. So say for example, I'm working in a team, right? And as part of the team, I am actually supposed to develop something, okay, or I have to write or do a development of a particular functionality. And as part of that development activity, I haven't even got the the apps or the softwares, the development environment that needs to be set up, the access that need to be provided in order to start that activity. Now, I can go ahead and then log my time as a team member that yes, I have spent this much time talking to IT folks to get this thing enabled. Okay. And if these sort of activities are logged by the team, then this shows the inefficiencies in the overall process, right? So that is helpful overall for the higher management to go ahead and rectify any of these time taking issues. If there is something which is some process which is taking too long, that will get highlighted if you have the time tracking within Jira, right? And team is actually following those practices religiously to enter the time, right? So that's where the saving actually comes. You improve the processes, and then your team's time is actually spend more on the billable activities rather than on the random activities to sort the access and other things. Okay. Now, there is an app, Tempo Timesheets, right? So very popular app, and you can go ahead and install the Tempo Timesheets from the Atlassian Marketplace, and it will help you to track your time or your team's time, and highly customizable. Basically, you can track the billable time, non-billable time, and it's really easy to track time for your team using the Tempo timesheet. Okay. So what you need to do, basically, just simply go ahead and see the in the time tracking, you go ahead and open the issue type, and within the issue type, you can go ahead and track the time. Now, in the reporting, when somebody goes to the tempo planning, basically they can write or they can go ahead and view the custom reports, which will help you to see the exact, either it's billable time, non-billable time, and gives a clear picture of how many hours were spent in a billable and non-billable time, etc., right? Which helps you overall to invoice the customers. Now, the next thing is get insight with the custom report, which is what it's quickly showing. So basically, you can build the custom reports based on the project, whether it's billable, group by, different project or user, etc., and see what all time has been logged using the tempo timesheet. So now let's quickly see the tempo timesheet. There is one quick demo here, and this will show how to compare the billable hours to the total work hours for the customer. For example, the cloud based customer. Okay, so selected cloud based customer, and then you can have the customer selection. Then you can go ahead and group by based on the role or project, or you can see different options available in the drop down. So we'll go ahead with the project, and you can see that easily it is giving you the overall report, custom report, and then you can choose the duration of the report as well to see how much time was actually spent. Then you can change the view, right? And you can just from the grid, you can select the billable days or billable hours, and that is what it is shown. So it becomes really easy. You can export this particular report, but as I mentioned earlier as well, we'll have a separate session on the each of these aspects in future sessions. So this is briefly how you are going to create, custom reports within Tempo timesheet. And this is highly, this is an app within Jira. So it's kind of the look and feel, everything you will feel similar, like you are within Jira, and you are actually within Jira, but it's highly integrated, and you will get exactly same sort of feel and navigation capabilities as within Jira. So there are many other tools as well. So Tempo timesheets, and you can simply go ahead to the Atlassian Marketplace, and you will see all the tools that are available around time tracking. Now, the next use case or the last use case is integrations. Very, very important one. Again, if you're into software development, there are a lot of use cases around integrations, right? Integrations are important because not everything you can have within Jira, right? So you need there will definitely be some sort of other tool which have completely different functionality altogether, and you can't have everything within the Jira instance. That's where integrating Jira Cloud with other tool, for example, your continuous integration Bamboo, right? You have Bitbucket, your source code repository. So integrating your Jira Cloud with any other tool is really important because it will give you a visibility of your Jira user stories right then and there within the tool, and there is a bidirectional sync that happens, so you don't have to manage that synchronization issue, which usually we face problem when we have standalone tools which are not integrated well. So the very popular use case is, um, before that, an average small and medium business pays for over 20 different SaaS products a month, right? And that's true. Basically, nowadays, most of the products are moving on cloud, right? So you will be definitely be having some sort of cloud access or cloud um, access to the email client or your Microsoft. So there'll be something or the other that the businesses are already having, the product already having, the SaaS product they have enrolled for. Now, if you have those products enrolled for, you need to have that integration as well with Jira Cloud. And the first integration, the first advantage of integration is that it will allow you to have that bidirectional syncing. You don't need to go ahead and manually have that sync thing going on, or somebody managing that syncing. Okay. The next thing is that integrations save time. Okay. And visibility, right? So visibility is another very important thing. So once your tools are integrated, then because you do not have to maintain that syncing between the tools, obviously the time is saved, right? And because the tools are linked together, there is a syncing. So from other tool, you have the visibility of what is going on into the first tool, right? So we'll quickly understand that with one of the example, right? For example, with Slack for Jira Cloud. Okay. So you can integrate Slack, which is a chat agent, with Jira Cloud, right? So you can stay in sync, you can focus on the task, and then with the Slack integration, you can get or pull the right set of people within your within the chat and work collaboratively, right? Instead of going to a separate chat agent, pulling everyone together right then and there. If you have Slack integration within Jira, so for that particular user story, for that particular task, if you feel okay, we need to include these many people to discuss this and get it sorted, you quickly go ahead and start that chat right then and there within Jira Cloud against that particular user story or the task, and sort it with the right audience within Slack. Okay. So this is one of the use case. Then the second thing is about Bitbucket. Okay, so Bitbucket and Jira Cloud. Very important if you are from the software development background. So Bitbucket is source code repository. And when you have Bitbucket and Jira Cloud integrated from any tool, so basically from Jira, you can see the development tab there, development section there, wherein you can see, okay, how many branches, how many commits were there, how many pull requests, what builds, all of those details that that are done by developers in order to build any particular user story. So to build a user story, they'll write the code, then they'll merge the code, they'll commit the code, right? They'll raise the pull request into Bitbucket or any other source code repository. And Bitbucket, because it's from the Atlassian itself, so there is a very tight integration, and the visibility within Jira of Bitbucket against a particular user story is very high, as well as the developer can go directly to Bitbucket, right? So now we are you are seeing this Bitbucket instance, Bitbucket screenshot here, and they can directly see what all issues are there, and that are there against a particular user story that they are working. They can right then and there within Bitbucket, they can start working on the issues, um, and see all of that visible exactly as it was into the Jira within Bitbucket, right? So they don't have to switch back and forth within the tool. And because this syncing is bi-directional, so anything that is done within Jira Cloud is synced to the Bitbucket, and anything that is done into Bitbucket is synced back to the Jira Cloud, right? So this is a real instance, an example of the integration. So Slack is one of that, Bitbucket and Jira Cloud, and these are just minimal integration. There are so many other integrations that are available. So you can go ahead and explore more around the integration section in Jira Cloud. So you can try out an app for a Jira Cloud for free. So most of the app will be free for 30 days, and it's absolutely free. And even Jira Cloud is free up to certain extent, right? So up to 10 users you can use it free lifetime. So similar Similarly, any app that you want to try in your free instance, you can go ahead, install, and try for 30 days, play around and get familiar. It's not just about the organization. If you are just a person working within the team, go ahead, install a particular app for your own learning as well. It's good to explore the apps that are around your job function, right? So you get more visibility around how to use the tool, how to use different apps, and how you can leverage the overall benefit of using the apps with the Jira Cloud. So Atlassian Marketplace is the go-to place, right? So you'll go ahead, from the Jira Cloud instance, you can go ahead to the Atlassian Marketplace, um, or you can go to the Marketplace website. Okay, and you have the in a product cloud experience, right? So basically you simply go ahead and you can see that you can filter based on the product. So you have the Jira, you have Jira Service Desk, right? So you'll see there are so many um, apps that are available against the product. You can filter based on different criterias as well, and explore what all apps that you need based on your job function and you want to explore. Okay, then from the Jira instance, you can see you can go to the apps, right? And it will open the apps that are available. And then from here, you can go to the different categories and filter and search for the apps right from this search bar here. Okay, so you just need to go to the settings and then apps, and it will open the marketplace apps right from your Jira Cloud instance to explore the apps. Okay, so this is a little old slide, um, and that's where they have mentioned that there are 900 plus apps, but there are many more apps now. So every day there'll be new apps that are being onboarded onto the Jira Marketplace, right? So this number will keep changing, right? So it's a lot more than what we have today. Tomorrow there might be a new app that will be onboarded on the Atlassian Marketplace that you can go ahead and explore. The next thing is you can build your own app as well. So if you are from the development background, you can go ahead and check out developer.atlassian.com for documentation and create your own custom app. So if you're an organization that you feel that you can build, or you want to build a particular app for Atlassian Marketplace, you can go ahead and build your own app. So that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you. And now you can go ahead and ask your questions. Okay, I hope Jared has answered most of the question.
Yes, I've been answering a lot of the questions in the background.
Okay,
But
great.
One question that Mohammed had was just around, how much use of manual and automatic testing is being done in a percentage.
Okay, so the question with regards to learning more about automation. Okay, let me go through the question. Sorry, can you, Jared, can you share that question? Is it from, okay, please tell me that, okay, this one, okay. How much use of manual and automatic testing and software testing in percentage? Okay, so this is very specific to software testing, Mohammed. Um, See, percentage wise, it is um, difficult to say how much automated and how much manual, but mostly when it comes to percentage, it's more of automating your regression tests, right? Regression test cases are the best suited test cases to go ahead and target regression first. So in regression test cases, mostly in some organizations, I have seen 90% plus automated test case and 10% manual. But then when you are in the initial phases of the project, when you are doing the progression automation, it will be mostly manual execution, right? So person goes ahead and executes the scenario first, gets used to the flow. When the application gets stabilized, because you don't need to you don't want to automate an unstable application, right? So if you're doing a UI automation, you need to go ahead and have that stability in the UI app. So that's where, when a little stability comes in, then progression kicks in. But overall, you can say it depends on project to project and the complexity and the return on investment, right? So basically, not all scenarios are good to automate. So if there is a particular use case which just takes 5 minutes every release to run the test against, but then it takes 3 months to automate that particular scenario, is it a good idea? Right, it's not at all. It's not good return on investment. So that's where the tech leads and people working in automation, they decide that yes, this is a good investment to automate, this is not a good investment. So percentage, there is no fixed percentage. It depends on the type of project, the complexity, and return on investment. I hope that answers the question, Mohammed.
We've got a couple of new questions just come in regarding asset management from LinkedIn, from Asha.
Yeah, I think there is a possibility around asset management. I haven't explored personally that yet, but yes, I mean we can get back on that. Jared, do you have any idea on the asset management within Jira Cloud?
Yeah, I believe Atlassian actually acquired a company recently, and it's built into your Jira. I do believe that they also allow you the ability to create, some example tables.
Mhm.
But yeah, otherwise, is there anything specific around asset management in particular? Like what kind of assets? Is it more like hardware, software, tracking of infrastructure, or any other types of assets? If you wanted to provide some more context, Asher, on your question.
So there is a option. Okay, so I think there is a text. I'm not getting any option. I searched from last 2 days. So, oh, hardware. It's hardware, Jared.
Yep.
So do
Yeah,
we
so
have
that's-
something built in?
yeah. So as I said, there's a couple of out of the box asset hardware tracking apps. Some of the plugins allow you to like import via CSV, so you may be able to
Hmm.
just create some dummy data and load that in to have a bit of a
Right.
play with.
Okay.
Also on your SaaS environment, your Jira SaaS environment, you can also create a bit of a sandbox. So that way you're not putting anything into your like production Jira as you test, or optionally you can spin up an additional instance to test with. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I think you have to go for, by default. I think there won't be asset management functionality, as Jared mentioned. You have to search for the app within Atlassian Marketplace and see some of the asset management apps and install those, and you'll be able to get that functionality within Jira. So we have
It
another
also,
question. Yeah, go ahead,
I was
Jared.
just going to finish off that last one, just Ash's question. If you've got Jira Service Management installed, which is kind of a not Jira Core or Jira Software, so if you're using the ITSM component of the Atlassian products, that comes with Insight, which is the built-in asset management capability. Sorry, that was the one I was referring to before.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Great. So yeah, Jared, what's the best way to go for Jira certification? I mean, I have done certification, but yeah, I want to have your insights as well on this.
Yeah, for sure. So Atlassian's got a an online um, portal. I forget the URL now, but yeah, if you
Yeah.
search Jira certification, there's a number of certifications. I believe they've also
Right.
got a path. So depending on whether you're wanting to get more certified on the administrative side or more into the to the development products like your buckets and whatnots. But yeah, no, definitely a interesting experience.
Right.
There's obviously, I don't know how many instances of Jira people have configured. So you learn a lot along the way, whereas the certification is quite specific to how Atlassian might think or recommend you configure certain instances. So just be mindful of, don't necessarily bank on your past experience being the right or correct way of configuring, and just be mindful that there's a combination of best practices. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. From my experience, Deepak, I think the best way is, yeah, as Jared mentioned, there is a portal, training portal, university, Atlassian University portal. You can go through and explore different certification options and the best suited certification as per your current role. So there is I think there are 20 plus certifications now. And yeah, they have added a lot more certifications. I did like 3-4 years ago, or maybe even more, 6-7 years ago. So yeah, there is a portal you can go ahead and explore. There is a question from Nikhil. Can someone make good career in manual testing only? So basically, Nikhil, to answer that question, don't just stick to um, manual testing basically. So there is no manual testing or automated testing as such. The differentiation is there because when you manually execute script, you call it manual, and then automated, it's automated. But then it's testing, right? So build your testing skills and then build the automation capabilities as well. So if you are not very keen to learn any programming language, use a low code automation tool. And for example, there are many available nowadays with AI come in picture. So it becomes really easy to use those tools and have that automation capability and skill set added to your resume. So go ahead with that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Anything else, guys? Okay, I think that's pretty much it, Jared. So let's then wrap off the session. And thank you everyone for joining. It was a great pleasure to have you all here. And thank you very much, Jared, for having for being here and answering a lot of questions and also supporting overall. So pleasure to
No,
have
thank
you
you.
here.
Thank you. Big round of applause. And if anyone's got any future suggestions or future topics that they'd like to learn more about, feel free to leave them in the comments, and we'll take those into considerations for some of our upcoming future Alessi events. So
Right.
thank you
Yeah.
very
And we
much.
we might also have the in-person event in Melbourne. So we will plan something for people who are in Melbourne. So we'll have an in-person events here as well. So stay tuned, and we'll be connecting very soon.
Awesome. Alrighty.
Thank you. Thank you
Well,
very much. Thanks, guys.